Hey everyone, welcome back. So this week we're going to teach your dogs how to drop their toys on cue. Depending on the dog you have, some of these methods might work and some may not. So I'm going to be showing you a couple different ones, so hang out for the entire video so you guys can see which one will work best for your dog. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pick out your dog's favorite toy and get them really excited about it. Here I'm playing tug with Wrigley. That is her absolute favorite game. I'm letting her win at it a little bit, getting her really interested in the game itself before we start teaching any cues. Okay, jumping into method 1 here. This is going to use treats to teach your dog to drop it. So what I'm doing here is I'm getting Wrigley really interested, really amped up about the toy, and then when she comes back to me, I'm not saying anything, I'm just sticking food in her nose. She's going to get interested in the food and then spit out the toy to eat the food. I click when she spits the toy out. The tricky part about this method is it only works if your dog is able to switch back and forth between food and toys, which a lot of dogs have a difficult time doing. So if that is your dog, don't worry, I have other methods in this video for you. The next step to this is adding a cue to it. So what I'm doing is I'm cueing drop and then immediately putting food in her face just like we were doing before, clicking when she drops the toy. In this clip, you'll see me start to back off on that food lure a little bit. It's still in front of her nose, but it's not directly at her nose. I want to get away from that as quickly as possible so she doesn't become dependent on me shoving food in her face every time I want her to drop the toy for me. And here you'll see me just cue drop without any food lure with it, testing that cue out. If your dog is not dropping the toy on the drop cue, you guys can go back a couple steps, work those up for a while longer, and then come back to this one, test that drop cue out. So here you're going to see me start to use the toy as the reinforcer rather than the food. You guys do not need to use food forever with this one. It's just to help teach your dog the process of it. But once they understand what the cue means, you can actually use the toy as a reward. So what I'm switching over to is using, instead of the clicker as a marker, I'm using a no food marker essentially. So the word good to Wrigley means food is not coming, but a toy reinforcer is coming. So as soon as she drops it, I say good and then immediately toss her the toy. Alright guys, on to method 2. So this is going to be for those really toy driven dogs and the dogs that have difficulty switching between toys and food. Now the key to this one is getting your dog really excited and wanting to play with the first toy while you are holding that other toy behind your back, playing with that first one. Get them really interested in it, and then when you decide to, you're going to let that first toy go, make it dead essentially, and then bring out that second toy from behind your back. That is now the toy you're going to play with and be very excited about. Now don't expect your dog to right away latch onto that second toy. It might take a little bit of encouragement on your part. When I drop this toy here, I actually have to encourage Wrigley a little bit more than that first repetition to grab onto that second toy. If you guys fully believe that the toy you possess is the most exciting toy, then your dog will also believe that. That is the best information and tip I can give you for this method, is make that second toy the most interesting thing in the room so your dog also gets very, very excited about it and wants to hold on to it. And adding the cue into this one is just the same as before. You want to say drop right before you see your dog about to release that first toy that you have. This is the same clip you guys saw earlier from the first method. I wanted to show it again because this is also the end for the second method. We end up in the same place with your dog actually dropping the toy. So with the toy method, with using a toy as a reinforcer, when you drop it down to just one toy, what you want to do is make that toy kind of go dead again, just in your hands if you're holding it with your dog. Hold it really still, close to your body, in case you're not actively playing with it or tugging with it anymore. And then the moment your dog drops it, say good, toss the toy for them to go get. That's about everything for this video. Please let me know if you guys do have questions in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear how this is going for you. I hope you guys have a great week. I'll see you next Thursday. Happy training.